His franchise sold him up the river. That basically the New England Patriots made the complete about face at the owners' meetings yesterday. So let's take it back now. We go back through the mists of time to January when Robert Kraft, the extraordinarily well-respected owner of the New England Patriots, arrived in Arizona for the Super Bowl and said,
"The Wells investigation is not able to definitively determine that our organization tampered with the air pressure in the footballs. I would expect and hope that the league would apologize to our entire team, and in particular, Coach Belichick and Tom Brady, for what they have had to endure this past week."
So that was him saying, if this proof against us doesn't show, we should get an apology. Then it went to...
Well, notice the word he used in there. Definitively.
Yeah.
He used the word definitively.
Yes, he did.
The Wells report does not purport to definitively show anything. He says more. Ted Wells wrote more probably than not. The standard that Robert Kraft was expecting was not held up, was not lived up to.
But Ted Wells had said what the expectation was exactly what he said. That was what he was told.
That was his mandate by the league.
That was his mandate. So you had Kraft wanting an apology. You had Roger Goodell on our show at the NFL draft saying either way, no matter what happens, there's going. And this was before the Wells report came out. Roger Goodell said there's going to be no apology. And now where are we?
We are here with Robert Kraft yesterday at the owners' meetings after. According to various reports, this started coming out yesterday, Roger Goodell and Robert Kraft were both at Sean McManus' 60th birthday party over the weekend in New York. Sean McManus is a longtime president of CBS Sports. The two of them, apparently, Goodell and Kraft, sat together on a couch for a long time.
Found an unoccupied couch and hung out.
Hugged, and everything got better. I don't know how to explain this to you, but that apparently is what happened. And that left Robert Kraft yesterday saying this.
I think maybe if I had made the decision last week, it would be different than it is today. But believing in the strength of the partnership and the 32 teams, we have concentrated the power of adjudication of problems in the office of the commissioner. And although I might disagree with what is decided, I do have respect for the commissioner and believe that he's doing what he perceives to be in the best interest of the full 32. So in that spirit, I don't want to continue the rhetoric that's gone on for the last 4 months. I'm going to accept reluctantly what he has given to us and not continue this dialogue and rhetoric. And we won't appeal. Now, I know that a lot of Patriot fans are going to be disappointed in that decision, but I hope they trust my judgment and know that I really feel at this point in time that taking this off the agenda, this is the best thing for the New England Patriots, our fans, and the NFL. And I hope you all can respect that.
Well, so one of the first things people think is they worked out a deal, and now remember, this is separate than Tom Brady's 4-game suspension. And the New England Patriots had till May 21st to file an appeal of the $1 million and the 2 draft picks taken away. So there are going to be those that are going to put together, okay, he's going to accept his penalty, but that's going to work in his favor. When Tom Brady's appeal is heard, he's going to drop down in games. And from the reports we're getting, that there was no deal like that made at all.
Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen, despite quick, widespread speculation, Shefty says, quote, no assurances were given to the Patriots or Robert Kraft about what will happen to Tom Brady going forward, end quote.
So, yeah, there are those that won't believe that, those that will believe that, so you are where you are with that. So then the question is, why did Robert Kraft do what he did? And there are those that are saying those that are disappointed in him, saying he gave in to the commissioner, but to me, that's not a chance. They hired the commissioner. This is about the other owners as far as I'm concerned. This is okay, we can't be separate from the other 31 teams. We have to put up a united front. We have to show Roger Goodell we support him, because basically they spent the year getting ball batted around from the public perception. And I would imagine there was some talk with some other owners, however, that talk went about that, listen, we can't be fighting this guy that's already getting batted around. We have to be together on this. At least that's kind of my thought, that this wasn't good. Just what he said. This wasn't good for the league for this to continue. One of the 32 fighting against the league and the commissioner, the guy they put in power.
I understand that. The one thing I'll say is, the time to do that was before you released the 20,000-word rebuttal to the Wells report.
I agree with that.
So I don't understand. You heard Kraft at the beginning of this say, if I had to make this decision a week ago, I would have chosen differently. And the evidence of that is titled Wells Report Context, and it's to be found online, and it is in the public record now until the end of time. So I'm confused, I guess, is the way I would describe this. The only thing I can think is that when he got out to say, first of all, apparently, again, at Sean McManus's birthday party, he and Goodell reached some sort of meeting of the minds. Mm-hmm. Maybe Goodell told him something that he didn't otherwise know. There are two ways you could, this is pure speculation on my part.
That's all we can do at this point.
One of them is that he offered some insight into what took place to Kraft that Kraft didn't already have. Maybe something that was not in the Wells report. That's just a guess. It's certainly one of those things you'll see all over the place on Twitter. I have no idea if there is anything to it. The other, and maybe the likelier one, is that what Goodell told Kraft in private is, I've had a ton of other owners telling me, Robert, I need to come down hard on this thing. Right. If you have a problem with it, you got to go talk to them. Don't talk to me. And I think that is because there are a lot of other people around the National Football League who think the Patriots cheat. Right? That's not breaking news. That's been out there forever. Spygate. Just go ask Marshall Faulk what he thinks. Go ask a lot of guys from that St. Louis Rams team what they think. Go ask a bunch of people in Pittsburgh, Hines Ward and a bunch of them, what they think. I'm not telling you it's true or not. I'm telling you that is a perception out there. So it is possible that what Roger Goodell was able to convince Robert Kraft is look, you don't have the friends in that room you think you do on this subject. Not to say they don't respect Kraft, because I think generally he is more respected than just about anybody. But maybe on this subject, he doesn't have the room.
That's been the thought really from the beginning of this. If it came down to Kraft really having a problem with Goodell and wanting to do something about it, he would need the approval of the majority of owners, and nobody believed he would get it. Nobody believed he would get that. So maybe that point was emphasized, or Robert, I think a lot of the report that they put out, that the Patriots put out, I do think was initial reaction, Greedy. I firmly believe they did not expect that discipline. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe they didn't expect the highest fine, the 2 draft picks, and then Brady getting 4 games. I don't think that. So I think when that happened, I think basically everything went out the window, and you know what they did? To use the term we use and Herm Edwards talk about, they hit send. They were mad. They didn't want to hear it from anybody. He hired his own guy, did their own report, and they hit a 20,000-word send, hit the send button on that because they were mad at what the punishment was. And then as things maybe calmed down and things were relayed, whether it was by Roger Goodell, if this, again, this is kind of just us thinking out loud, that this isn't Robert Kraft, as some people said, always bowing down to Roger Goodell. No, he's not. Robert Kraft, it's about the other owners in Robert Kraft, who, again, the guys who put Goodell in the position he is in as commissioner. So that's what this is about. It's about those relationships and the unified front, I would believe, that they want to have.
That's what I think,
as
well. We'll find out what the professor thinks. John Clayton's covering the owners' meetings for us. Got up real early for us.